Did you have this idea of promoting Indonesian food and culture to the world before when you started? Because like let's say Thai food is a brand, it's a big brand, like people know. Indonesian food, here in the region people know of course, Singapore, Malaysia, but maybe it's hard to promote this to the big world because it's not, the brand is not like Thai food, let's say.
Yeah.
Did you have this in mind when you just started out?
When I first started, it was merely just wanted to have Indonesian food that is not expensive in Singapore. As simple as that. So back then I was like, hey, in my country there's so many fried chicken, man, at the roadside, and it's so cheap. And we have this pecel lele, you know, pecel lele is like the fried catfish, you know, the lele by the roadside, and the tahu tempe, you know. So I was like, the only Indonesian restaurants that during my time back then was Sanur and Tambu Mas, and that is expensive, and it's not really 100% authentic Indonesian taste.
So food courts didn't have Indonesian food back then?
Only Malay food, like nasi lemak, nasi padang, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so back then there was no ayam penyet. I think there was one in Changi Village, but it wasn't that popular back then.
Yeah.
So my dream is just to have Indonesian food that is affordable. It's something that people can eat almost every day. So it started from that. I didn't have any expectation or any dream to actually bring this globally back then. So that's why I always believe that sometimes to start something, to start a 1,000 miles, just start from one step. Don't think too much theories, too much calculations. Will I make profit? Will I lose money? Will I make it? What happens if the cost is too high, the rent too high? No. I just wanted to serve Indonesian food in Singapore. That's why I chose Lucky Plaza in Orchard, because it was near to the Mount Elizabeth, where there's so many Indonesians go there for the hospital. Back then it was just as simple as that.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. So the very first outlet was in the Lucky Plaza, 4th floor. Even flies didn't pass by there. It was at the 4th floor because cheap. The rental was cheaper. And Sunday there's so many Filipinos, right? Yeah. So I said, okay. So I still remember that time every Sunday we still close. So Sunday I sell Filipino food because I was thinking, I don't think any Indonesians will come to Lucky Plaza because there's so many Filipinos on Sunday. Yeah, but okay, I was wrong. Yeah, so that was how it started. Until as time goes by, apparently that this food. So that's why I said fried chicken, rice, and sambal, it won't go wrong. Yeah, and also it's affordable. It's not something that only the wealthy can. In fact, I don't like. I just like to sell something that all kind of people they can just enjoy. Yeah. So now, the ayam penyet, the smashed fried chicken, in 6 countries. Yeah, but it's also by God's grace.
What are the most difficult country and then the easiest country to expand to for you?
Easiest, Indonesia.
Because you know everything.
You lose one staff, the next day you have 100 staff lining up. In Singapore, nah.
Yeah, because people want to work. Yeah.
In Singapore, you cannot scold. You cannot scold the staff. In fact, the staff scold you. You know, it's the other way around. Yeah. So the most challenging is in Singapore, in Australia, because I think everybody knows manpower is an issue, and the pay is getting more and more expensive, and they only want to work 6 hours, 8 hours work, and also they don't want to do all the dirty work. They don't want to wash the plates. They don't want long hours. They demand high pay, and you just raise your voice a little bit, you won't see them anymore tomorrow.
Here?
And also, I think if some of your audience listen to this, if they do F&B, they will 100% agree with me. When we do for interview in Singapore, the people who call up and to text you, hey, I'm coming for interview. Okay, among 100 people who call for interview, you know how many turn up?
If the interview already like settled, already like agreed that they're coming for the interview, yeah?
Yeah. Let's say
supposed to be like, I don't know, 90. Supposed to be 90 out of 100.
Okay, so if 100 people call you, those who came is less than 5.
What? Come on.
Yeah. Please write in the comments if what I say is true. You can get 5, it's already good enough. And also, when you do the interview, right? Let's say you are the HR, you are the manager, you interview for the recruitments, right? End up, they are the ones who interview you. They'll be asking you how much. Before they ask you about the work, they will ask you how much they can get, how much is the pay, what time is the working hours, and is there any benefit, is there any... So this is so contradicting to what those people always have in mind. Last time when I used to work, you know, when I went for interview, in my mindset, I always tell the boss, I said, look, this is what I can do for you. After I tell you what I can do for you, then I will tell you what I want. So it's fair, I said. So the same thing, I always tell my staff, do not always think what the company can offer you, but you start by what can you give to the company first. And then after that, then you see whether what the company offer to you, is it fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just after you just come to the interview, straight away you ask how much is the pay, do I have an MC leave, do I have maternity leave, this and that, do I have a staff meal, all these things in Singapore.
Why do you think this problem exists in Singapore with the staff?
They have choices. So I think the supply demand. So I think there are more demands now than supplies. So I think they have these choices, They have, okay, if these companies don't give what I want, I can just go to another company because there are so many companies looking for people. So they have choices. Very different than countries like Indonesia, Malaysia. I heard even Malaysia now is also getting more difficult to find because now so many Malaysians they prefer to work in Singapore because of the dollar. So I think, but if you go to Myanmar, you go to Vietnam, the people from the village, they still value the work. So they it's so different than the developed countries. So welcome to Singapore lah.
But also because there are quotas for foreign workers and locals, Singaporeans. Yeah.
And for information, the quota, I think this month, I think the government also increased the quota also for expats and expats and work permit. They are making it more tighter again. And the salary ceiling also they raise up again, so making it even more competitive. So I would say my personal point of view in terms of the F&B in Singapore, I think this year is very tough. It's very tough. Not tough means not about the profit, not about the business, but about the manpower. Manpower.
That's definitely caused the problem of like the service that people sometimes like say that Singapore, the super developed country, in the place, the city, but the service of like in the restaurant, in the cafes, is not there compared to other like developed economies.
Yep.
Because of the staff. So staff come and go.
They have choices.
Yeah,
So anyone willing to pay me higher, I will just go. So they will just do hopping and hopping.
How to find the right people and how to deal with them so they also you happy and they're happy and business is growing.
There's no such thing as called right. No right wife. Right. There's no right spouse, there's no right parents, there's no right team, there's no right manager. I think it's about expectancy. So one thing I learned, especially this year, I learned not to expect a sky. I learned not to expect too much. Because end up I'll be the one who will be depressed. Depressed is when, of course, disappointment comes when somebody delivered less than your expectation, right?
Yeah.
So I try not to expect too much. So I try to give them like a credit. I just try to give them the job scope that is really, okay, you tell me what is your strength, what's your weakness. So I will try not to give you the job scope that is out of your strength. I learned one thing, that one of the factors why there's a high turnover is because these people, they are doing the job that is not meant for them. It's because they're in need of job. And just at that point of time, this job is available, they just take it. There's no right people. Like at this moment, if many people ask me, do you have the right team? No. But you have to adjust your expectation. There was one time like it.
Yeah.
Why can't you just think like me? Why can't you follow me for 10 years, ma? You know how fast I work. You know how I do. You should know. Just 50% of me is good enough. Then my late father told me, if you expect everybody to think like you, to talk like you, to think like you, they don't work for you. Oh yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Like you, Max. You expect your assistant one day to do the podcast for you. You follow me for 10,000 series already. You should know. If you expect him to be like you, then he become Max. Yeah, same thing.
And the motivation, I also learned this at some point. And the motivation is also different. Like for you as a business owner, your motivation is always, most of the time, will be higher than your team, because you're pushing this business. You created this business. You created this project.
Yeah.
So it's natural. I mean that people have less motivation than you. It doesn't mean that they cannot work like on the good level. It's just they're not you. Sometimes I also like, why you didn't think about this one? But I mean, my experience is broader than my assistant's experience.
Exactly.
So why I would assume that they know the same or they think the same way as I'm thinking.
Agree.